up, everyone? This is OJ over here from PlayerEssence, and welcome to another PE Nintendo news video. Today, we've got a lot of great topics for you, so let's go ahead and get right into it. So Nintendo has talked about Super Mario Maker for the Nintendo 3DS sales and how they're reaching new customers who didn't have a Wii U with this title. So here is the little snippet from their recent investor briefing where they said, quotations, Super Mario Maker for the Nintendo 3DS released in December last year in Japan continues to sell well and is expected to become a million seller soon. In Japan, this title has the momentum to close in on the total sell-through for the Wii U version, which launched the previous year. We were able to reach consumers who don't own a Nintendo 3DS system, but who do not own a Wii U system. This shows the size of the latent Nintendo 3DS market. This title is also off to a good start in the US and Europe, where it was released in December as well. So Super Mario Maker, Nintendo 3DS, I think those go hand in hand. A lot of the people in Japan, and people just in general, just like portability. Portability is a lot bigger than a lot of people give it credit for, especially when it comes to dedicated video game devices. A lot of people don't like to give the Nintendo 3DS credit despite it selling so well, and even for the fact that it didn't have any third-party support. Remember, the Nintendo DS had plenty of third-party Western support. I shouldn't say third-party support, I should say Western third-party support. The DS had so much of it, and that was before smartphones. Smartphones came over and kind of took over, and I think the 3DS salvaged something for being in the smartphone era and not having any Western developers support them and really just going off of Nintendo's own content and select third-party exclusives here and there. So the fact that Super Mario Maker is selling so well on the Nintendo 3DS is not a surprise to me at all, even though it's a stripped-down version of the game, because people want portability. People want to be able to take that game anywhere they go. That's an important factor for many Japanese consumers and many consumers in America too. I mean, it's not just the fact that people love consoles. Yes, people love them, but a lot of people like to be able to take a game out somewhere, to their friend's house, to school, whatever the case is, so they can play on their breaks or whenever they can. I mean, it's just something that's important to people. So I think there's probably people that even double dipped on this game, even if they have the Wii U version. They probably bought the 3DS version just so they can take it out anywhere they want. All right, and moving on, we got some more news from the briefing. So Nintendo has apologized for the NES Classic shortage, and they also announced the sales of the system. So far, it has sold 1.5 million units, and they do see that there's opportunities for the Nintendo Switch. So here's what they had to say on the matter in the slide. In November last year, we brought back the nostalgic Famicom and NES home consoles in palm-sized version and shipped the entire quantity of Nintendo Classic Mini Family computer units we initially prepared for each market. We apologize to our consumers and retail partners for the inconvenience caused by product shortages. Some parts require time to procure, but we are working to increase production. We also see the nostalgic interest in these products as an opportunity to draw consumers' attention to our latest game system, the Nintendo Switch. So obviously, I said this beforehand. I said this NES Classic is going to be a prelude to them showing and them just trying to get back in the light for the Nintendo Switch. I actually had a video where I said that, and Nintendo basically just confirmed that right there. This NES Classic, in addition to their smartphone and mobiles, they're trying to reach as many people, and they're trying to capture these old school gamers who used to play Nintendo, maybe fell out of gaming, maybe play Call of Duty here and there, but remember Mario, remember Zelda, remember Bomberman, remember all of those games, and they're trying to bring that content, because having a system with a bunch of third-party ports that might not necessarily be the best ports of the system, that didn't really do much for the Wii U at launch. So I can see what Nintendo's trying to do with the NES Classic, and also what they're trying to do with the launch lineup that they're bringing with the Nintendo Switch, as far as Bomberman, as far as Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, I Am Setsuna. These are the type of games that a lot of old school Nintendo fans like to play. I'm interested in seeing how this works out, and I think the NES Classic Mini Edition obviously was a great thing. They just need to get more stock, but it seems like people are able to buy them. I know Best Buy had a good stock of them. I saw one of them when I was in the store, so I could have bought it if I wanted to, but I didn't. So maybe I'll pick one up at some point. But whenever they do a Super NES Classic, oh my gosh, I will be there day one. I'll camp out. I need to get me one of those, because Super Nintendo, as many of you guys know, is my favorite console of all time. All right, and moving on here, Nintendo does say that the Nintendo Switch and the Nintendo 3DS can coexist together. So here's what they had to say on the slide. Quote, We will continue to introduce new titles that players can enjoy for the Nintendo 3DS family of systems. We have heard speculation that the Nintendo Switch will replace the Nintendo 3DS, as both are game systems that can be played outside the home, but Nintendo 3DS has unique characteristics that differ from those of the Nintendo Switch. Furthermore, the price points and play experiences offered by the two systems are different, and we do not see them as being in direct competition. We plan to continue both businesses separately and in parallel. So this is really interesting that they say this. And yes, it is not technically a replacement because Nintendo still has software that they can do. Nintendo has so many development studios and partners. They can put their C and D teams on the Nintendo 3DS to bring out games, while they put the big teams and all the 3DS developers who are making AAA for the 3DS, that is, on the Nintendo Switch, and they can coexist. However, I do feel that many of the A-tier developers who would be making games on Nintendo 3DS have moved over to Nintendo Switch, like Silicon Studio with Project Octopath, Intelligent Systems with a brand new Fire Emblem game, and like the Pokemon Company, where they've already revealed that the next Pokemon game will be on the Nintendo Switch and they will be developing games for that system. So are they going to leave the Nintendo 3DS in the dust? Probably not. Are they going to do some co-developing, or are they going to do some games on the 3DS, but most of the games on the Nintendo Switch? Yes, that's what it's going to be like, because obviously the Nintendo Switch is new. They need to make sure that they have content, but you can't leave behind all of those 3DS users who are also looking for content and still buying games. We saw Pokemon Sun and Moon sell 14.65 million or 14.6 million in like just a few months. It was so crazy how much that game has sold, and the fact that they still have that fan base there that's buying games like Super Mario Maker and everything, you can't just leave that behind. So I see what they're trying to do, I see what they're trying to say, but a lot of the 3DS developers, as far as the top tier ones, have moved over a bit or are doing coexisting projects. For example, like Atlas with Shin Megami Tensei. They're bringing that new Shin Megami Tensei game to the Nintendo 3DS and to the Nintendo Switch, and they're using Unreal Engine for the Nintendo Switch version. So I think a lot of 3DS developers see the value in continuing supporting the Nintendo 3DS, but at the same time they see the value in jumping on the Nintendo Switch, which has a far better architecture where they can port over some of their other games that they're already working on, and to where they can have a chance in getting into a consumer and install base that's really looking to blow up here in the first 8 to 9 months. So it's really appealing either way you go, but I'm seeing a lot of these 3DS developers probably jumping over to Nintendo Switch and putting their projects on there, and we'll see some support here and there from Nintendo to finish out 2017 for the Nintendo 3DS. Alright guys, that wraps it up for this video here. Go ahead and hit that like button if you did like it. Lets me know you guys want more content like this going forward in the future, and subscribe to PlayerEssence for more news, reviews, trailers, tips and tricks, and everything in gaming. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you guys for the next video. Peace!